That's a
heavy, dude.
serious fish.
It was the perfect sight fishing day to be able to just go around and see whatever's out there. You know, you don't know what's going to be there, and we got to see things incredibly unique, incredibly cool. Just, you know, and I wonder how many times on a day where the visibility is not so good do we miss things like this?
Right.
And to be able to go in our own backyard here, look around on a day like that, and see things that we've never seen before, that's cool.
Look at him! Oh, the nurse sharks that just came out of the water, Tom.
Oh! Yeah!
Come on! Oh! He ate it! Nice, baby! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had
I got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh! Awesome! Look at that big boy. Woo!
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
So I guess we'll fix up a couple of rods. It's not quite what we had hoped for today, but funny little weather system pushed through. A
Winter.
wicked storm. That front was all the way from the Great Lakes all the way down to Cuba, basically. Dropped the air temperature a lot, but didn't necessarily drop the water temperature that much. So hopefully we can find something.
Well, I think the tarpon might be on hold for a day at least.
They don't like that so much. It's like there's a consistent water temperature and everything starts going really well and they're acting like they're supposed to this time of the year, and then a 10, 12 degree temperature drop.
Well, I remember all my years of guiding, had this one dude that all he wanted to do was tarpon fish in March or April and anytime he come. And he had this little saying, if the captain showed up to the dock with a jacket on, the tarpon weren't gonna bite.
Well, he was probably right.
Boy, was there some consistency with that, and look what I'm wearing this morning. So, but that's the nice thing about the Keys. I think our tarpon might not bite. I mean, they're gonna be there. We might find them. But I think we gotta look for some bonefish this morning while it's cool. And if it warms up this afternoon, maybe the tarpon will bite.
Well, we've got plenty of bait, so we'll just go out there and see what we can do.
You know, we had a beautiful day. It was you know, a little windy in the morning, post cold front. You know, the sky was just as blue and clear as you'll ever get. So we figured, you know, hey, it's blowing hard this morning out of the north. You know, we literally left from our villa at Hawks Cay and just putted out of the marina and just started right here. It was really nice because we had a lee side shoreline, still blowing 20, but we were on the lee of it, so it was pretty easy. And we figured we'd just look around. It was, you know, we left late, we let it warm up a little bit, and it was an awesome opportunity, a rare condition to have the sky that perfectly blue and visibility that good. We figured we look around on the flats and we'll see what's there, you know, but didn't see any bonefish. Made a couple passes down an area where we knew they were at. Didn't see any, just thinking, man, maybe they're in a little deeper water. So we decided to do a technique that works pretty good. Sometimes we decided to use chum for them. We got great current here. Let's chum for 5-10 minutes, see if anything comes in. We just power pulled down on that point out in front of Hawks Cay, and it's an area where the current was ripping around this point. We figured we'd let the tide work for us, so we just took a few shrimp, crushed them up in pieces, started throwing them out, and figured, you know, if they're here and we can't see them, maybe they're coming out of this deep water. A few minutes later, we started seeing stuff come in, you know, we were like, what is that, what is that? And it was boxfish. I mean, they were coming all over the place.
Yep.
What do you got?
There he is. Not a bonefish, but something else.
Oh, big boxfish, cool.
Good one, wow.
Dude, that's a big one,
You
man.
ever eat these things?
No, but I've had a lot of clients that told
I
me
haven't
that they
ever
have.
eaten one either.
Wow.
But I have some people that tell me that they're really good.
Hey, that is a crazy
He is
looking
barely
critter.
hooked, man. You wanna grab him?
Wow, that's a big one, dude.
They have like almost a exoskeleton almost.
They do.
Like they're like bony all the way around, but apparently right by the tail there's some good meat. Yeah, the boxfish is a very interesting looking fish. It's a fish that I've heard for a long time are good to eat, but honestly, I've never eaten one. And when you catch one, you kind of might even wonder, what in the world do you eat here? Huh. They are beautiful little fish. But that tail, that's what I've always heard. That's what you eat right there, maybe, and then right up here, there's a mussel probably. Would you eat it?
If you fillet it, I'm not filleting
I don't know how to fillet it.
I don't know, what do you want to do? You want to let him go? Or?
Yeah, let him go. It's his lucky day.
Now, what I find interesting is see that coloration. Watch how much he looks like a bonefish.
Oh, I know they look like bonefish. They just don't swim very fast. Cool. It's actually kind of fun. What are we gonna catch next?
A nurse shark is coming up after him. This one's hot. Look at him coming in. Look at him. Oh, the nurse shark just came out of the water, Tom.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay Resort, the only key you'll need. By Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. By Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance. And by Plano, Buff, St. Croix Rods, and Florida Keys and Key West.
We had a hard cold front that came in, very late season, late April cold front that comes in. I mean, this was a massive front that came through the entire southeastern United States and New York and everywhere else. And we have an amazing situation in the Florida Keys where there is no moisture in the air whatsoever. Perfectly blue skies. Never a better situation for sight fishing.
You got him?
Got him.
You got it out of the way. Well, it was, I mean, if it was there, we were seeing it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what we'd see. You know, it was one of those conditions where, you know, we just kind of explored. You know, we tried that first spot, caught a couple boxfish.
He's biting it. Man, this could be a record boxfish day.
Man, if you're catching this many, we should try to eat one.
Got him. Ooh, he's pretty.
That's a big one, too.
He's about to take off. Watch this. He's like a little boat with the propellers out of the water. Look at that. Man, I tell you what, they fight good. Man, this is boxfish corner right here.
The bonefish never came in. It was kind of cool to see those crazy looking boxfish. But then, you know, we said, all right, let's go look for a different spot. We ran around, pull up in this channel, and it was just, you know, I was expecting to see some bonefish on the edge of the flat, and you know, maybe some permit or whatever. And we pull up. I mean, we literally had just come off plane. Look out there, and here's this giant school of fish. I thought they were permanent at first. They were so big, and you were up there. You had the crab ready, threw right into them, and you know, you were on, and you knew that right away. You saw they were Crevalle. Dude, that's a giant one.
Yeah, it's a huge jack. Man, we just pulled right up here. I saw that school.
That's amazing.
Threw out there. I thought they were permit, and then I saw they were jacks. I started.
He ate the crab.
Pulling, well, I started jerking it real fast, and they were very hesitant to eat it. They didn't want to eat it.
But you made them.
I made them eat it.
Giant ones, right?
Giant jacks. For the Florida Keys, giants. Even though the permit and the jack are very closely related, I don't find that the jacks like crabs very much. What happened is they start pushing away a little faster than we can trolling motor. And I'm thinking, man, there might be a jig on one of these rods behind me, but there's no time. Like, you just have to go now. So just throw as hard as I can, get it in the middle of the school. So I just started jerking the crab. And sure enough, man, one of those things turned around and ate it.
Well, I knew with this great visibility, we were gonna see something cool eventually.
Well, I can tell you this right now. This Jack Crevalle will fight harder than any permit his size.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
It is way out there.
All right, I'm gonna kind of go fast and try to get close to him. You hooked that fish, I mean, you had him on that light rod. I had to crank the big motor, chase him as fast as we could, just to keep up with him. You know, I mean, that was, you had a big fish on a little rod. Are you giving that new rod a workout?
Dude, that's a big jack. That is a big, big jack. I think they catch these a lot bigger in northern Florida, and certainly up the coast of Florida. But I just haven't seen too many over 25 pounds.
That's one of the bigger ones I've ever seen down here for sure.
Well, there was a whole school of them. Must have been 30 or 40 of them. They were all this size. Over the years, I've fished for Jack Crevalles a lot. I find that people enjoy them. They fight hard. They come up, they bite stuff on the surface. They're chasing lures. It's really a great game fish. And so I fish for them a lot. And I don't ever catch those giant ones inshore. From Key West to Key Largo, very rarely have I seen anything as big as the ones that we saw.
God, that's a
He's heavy, dude.
serious
I bet he's 30
fish.
plus.
I don't know. I hadn't caught a lot of Jack Crevalles bigger than this one, though, I tell you that. And I love the Jack Crevalle. A lot of people consider it a trash fish, but I think it's a day maker at the least, and at the best, it's one of the top game fish out there, I think.
The Jack Crevalle doesn't have teeth like a shark, and it doesn't have a rough mouth like a tarpon, but it does have sharp teeth, and it will go through a leader. So that's what I kept thinking about. You know, I'd like to get this one in because it's probably the biggest Jack Crevalle that I've ever caught, but can't pull too hard because I'm really not prepared for Jack Crevalle. I mean, this is on a different kind of rig.
Okay, here we go. I'll get a shot at him. You ready?
Yep.
Yes!
I need a bigger net for sure.
That is a huge one.
Nice job,
Man, I want you to get a picture of that with me. That's definitely one of my biggest
That was pretty cool.
biggest Jack Crevalles ever.
Pull up there looking at a bonefish flat, and all of a sudden they're in the channel, just 100 of them. Wow, that's amazing. That's the size that'll
That is
eat a big, chase the big mullet. and stuff.
serious Jack Crevalle. I have no idea how much that weighs. Maybe 18 pounds, 16 pounds.
Bigger than that, buddy.
I got that that net, that Power Stone net out, and that's a pretty decent sized net. And that when I finally got to get that Jack in there, I mean, he barely fit. I mean, that was a monster fish.
Cool, cool, cool.
I've caught him that
And
big out
to
of
catch the biggest Jack Crevalle I've ever caught in my life on a crab, when I just made him eat it, I just pulled it real fast, like it was a minnow or a fish. Wow, that is cool. He was so ready to go.
What a beautiful spot to catch one.
Hey, the trash can slam. Well, I've got a puffer, a box fish, and a giant Jack Crevalle.
Well, I wouldn't put that one in the trash can. That was pretty cool.
That is a serious Jack Crevalle. I have no idea how much that weighs. Maybe 18 pounds, 16 pounds.
Bigger than that, buddy.
That was a neat catch, man, to catch probably the biggest Jacks you've ever caught in shallow water, crystal clear, great visibility, sight cast them with that nice light rod. That was that new St. Croix Legend Tournament rod. Man, that was, just really cool to, catch there. And then after we, messed around there for a little while, the tide had fallen out and gotten really low. So the next option that I thought was running into the backcountry a little bit, fishing some of the banks here behind Duck Key, some options out there. So we ran back there, and and I look up on the flat, and I'm like, I could not process what I was seeing. I looked up there and I was like, Tom, what is that? What is that? And I mean, I was kind of freaking out. I was like, it just could not process what I was seeing.
Dude, what the heck is going on up there? Look at this. It must be like a school of nurse sharks. 12 o'clock. What the heck is that?
Check it out,
20
man.
nurse sharks. What'd you just get done saying about some nurse shark spawn or something?
Yep.
Dude, I have never seen that right there.
That's why those big
Oh,
Jacks
look at
are
those
here.
Jacks. Tons of them.
Yep, that's why those Jacks are here. See this?
You got 'em?
See what I'm talking
You got
about
'em?
here? This is what we see in the Marquesas.
Look at all those nurse sharks. 100 nurse sharks right in front of us.
and a
Black
bad
tip trying to eat your
shark.
Jack. Wow, crazy. Look at this. It's
This
a
is going
frenzy of
nuts
stuff.
right here, buddy. Look at these nurse sharks. This is what I see in the Marquesas. Almost exactly
I've
the same
never seen
thing.
anything like this. Look at the black tip fall on your Jack.
This is
oh
what-
man, I got him
this is what we
thrusting
see,
on
man.
me. Wow. Talk about crazy. Never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, it was, and it wasn't like it took them a while. As
No, it was immediate.
I was up there. I mean, this happened 2 or 3 times to where when I threw it out there, I was throwing this topwater plug, which was really cool. I love watching those Jacks, come chasing that plug out. I mean, that was just a fun scenario. But I'd rip it across the water, the Jack would eat it, and I mean, the second I came tight, one of those nurse sharks would immediately peel out there and start chasing it. And I mean, you know, there was something different going on with those nurse sharks. There was some sort of, I guess it's a spawning behavior. I mean, they were being more aggressive, whatever their testosterone levels were up, whatever it was, but they were acting different than I'd ever seen them before. You know, it was just a really cool scenario. Like I say, I had never seen that. You said you'd seen something like that in the Marquesas. Yeah. This was definitely the first time I'd ever witnessed that.
Look at the nurse shark trying to eat this jack I'm reeling in. He's falling right behind it. Look at this, he's right here at the boat. He's trying to eat this thing, look at this.
Wow, tons of jacks. Now this is more Florida Keys size. That's about what we normally see. And some of these giant ones are a little bit outsized. We'll let him go. There's some bad dudes out there, guy. Watch out.
Here, grab
pass
mine.
it over here.
I'll tell you what, throw one in the live well. We might catch one of those black tips. Wow. Dude, that is so crazy. That's exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what we see in the Marquesas. And there'll be just giant bunches of nurse sharks like that with every manner of predator around it.
Dude, they are everywhere.
Okay, I'm ready to go find some more.
There's black tip right there, black tip there. I'm gonna throw it to him. So one of the most common discussions that comes up wherever I am with friends or family is you know, boats and what kind of boat should I get? You know, what's the right perfect boat? And you know, over the years I've been blessed to fish, you know, offshore and big boats, you know, 36 yellowfin, or I grew up fishing little flat skiffs on the flats. And really this bay boat that we've migrated to, this 24 yellowfin bay boat, is really gotten to be just my favorite. That bay boat, when I want to go fishing, I want to keep my options open. In the bay boat, I have the option of running offshore anywhere I want to go on those calm days, but I also keep all my options open on the flats. And what makes that bay boat so unique is, yes, it's big enough to get out to the reef on a calm day or offshore, but most boats that can do that cannot maneuver in the shallow water effectively. And really what the combination of the trolling motor and the power poles allow us to maneuver that big boat in shallow water. These trolling motors have gotten better and better, quieter, and then the power poles really are the thing that truly makes it different. The trolling motor can get us moving forward, but the power poles help us to stop quietly and silently. And it is so important. If we're sneaking up on a school bonefish or permit or whatever it is, without the power poles, we would drift down on those fish. That means that school fish is in front of us. When we finally see them, we have to stop the boat. And the power poles allow us in that big boat to quickly and efficiently just stop the boat so we do not get too close to those fish and scare them away. This allows us to catch so many fish in a big boat in shallow water. So this is what really, that bay boat, combination of the power pole and the trolling motor, lets us do almost anything that's available in the Florida Keys.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yeti, built for the wild. Mercury Marine, go boldly. Motor Guide, accuracy matters. And by Costa, Power Pole, Ameritrail, Hook, and B&W Trailer Hitches.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the show. You know, we'd like to get to know you better, carry on the conversation, and the best way to do that is follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
It was one of these situations where we're on a warming trend from a cold front that was pretty much debilitating, but things start to warm up, and by the time we get a little later in the day and we go back to the backcountry, it's pretty much getting ready to be on. Not quite for the bigger ones. They weren't quite just super aggressive. The permit were kind of a little bit like, I'm gonna give it a couple more hours. The tarpon are like, maybe tomorrow, you know, but we're right on the fringe of this thing just going off. It needs a couple more days of just warming up, and then it is gonna be on like crazy. And all those tarpon are gonna be much more willing to bite. The permit are gonna be willing to bite. The nurse sharks, I don't know, they seem pretty happy. They seem like everything was just fine.
Oh, look at him go. Look
at that. Got one, Tom?
Got him.
Dude, what a frenzy. I
want to
just
see what
that
happens
ball.
now.
I'm gonna try to stay with this ball of sharks.
Yeah. I want to see what happens now because before, I never saw any of those black tips or bull sharks or anything else.
See your fish? There's a nurse shark trying to eat him. He's chasing right behind him. That's crazy.
Oh,
Oh, he got it.
he found him.
That's incredible, man. Wow. And man, as soon as I hook him, a nurse shark's coming up after him. This one's hot. Look at him coming in. Look at him. Oh, the nurse shark just came out of the water, Tom. I've never seen that.
now that
Look, he's sticking his head out of the water. Look at this.
might be
Look
new
at
one for
this.
me too.
Look at, I mean, I've got 2 jacks.
It's insane.
It was the perfect sight fishing day to be able to just go around and see whatever's out there. You know, you don't know what's going to be there, and we got to see things. You know, whether it's that big school of jacks, that spawning school of nurse sharks, incredibly unique, incredibly cool. Just and I wonder how many times on a day where the visibility is not so good do we miss things like this.
Right.
And to be able to go in our own backyard here, look around on a day like that, and see things that we've never seen before, that's cool. Never know what you'll find out here.
What happens that day keeps warming up, keeps warming up, and keeps warming up. All these fish feeling like we do when we take our jacket off. Like, man, now it's feeling better.
Wow.